Hey guys, this is Josh Farley back with another video. And in this video, I just wanted to talk about the T-Mobile 5G home internet for a minute. If you guys don't know, I have a lot of videos on my channel about the T-Mobile 5G home internet, like speed tests and stuff like that. And third-party equipment that we actually use, like the Chester Cheetah version 2 third-party gateway that I have right here with band locking and network mode switching and all that. And I also have a waveform 4x4 antenna hooked up over there, and it's actually facing directly out the window, the attic window, to the tower that's actually down the road from me, not that far, like maybe a mile or two down the road from me, maybe not even. But today, it's actually a little bit windy out there today. But I have some cause for concern because there's actually they told me that there's actually like network maintenance and stuff going on in our area, particularly for the 5G. They've told me that they're actually working on the network and the towers and everything. They're doing tower modernization. And they told me that it's not going to be done until like April 27th, and it's only like April 21st. But I noticed today, and I've also noticed that a couple of other YouTube people have actually been having the same issue because they've actually commented on my posts and stuff on Reddit and stuff like that. But I actually noticed today when I actually tried restarting the Chester Cheetah version 2, I've noticed that it's actually only giving me 4G signal. So if you guys can see right there, it's not actually giving me even a weak 5G signal now. Every time I've tried restarting it, it keeps telling me that it's a 4G signal. It's not giving me a weak 5G signal anymore. So I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if the network is actually down, like the 5G network is actually totally down. Or what, but I haven't been able to get 5G signal all day, and it is a little bit windy out there. As you guys can see right there, it's a little bit windy out there, but it's not like really windy out there. My nieces actually are over, and they're out, with my mom. My mom's actually outside with my niece right now. It's not really that cold out. It's like 50 degrees or something. It's still, chilly enough for a jacket or something. But, it's not really that windy out there today. So it's not, it's not raining. It's not really bad weather or anything. So I'm kind of, wondering what the heck's going on because it's acting, really weird. I can actually try unplugging it here and actually see if we can get it to, go back to the 5G signal. I'm really baffled by this. I really don't know, what could be going on with this. I don't know why it's doing this. Just giving me a 4G signal. Like I have said, the 5G signal is weak in our area. Even using the waveform antenna, and even with my phone, I have T-Mobile, and I can't get, a decent, 5G signal even with my phone. Once in a while in the house, I'll get 5G UC signal, which stands for ultra capacity band. But I most of the time it's either on 4G LTE or 4G. Most of the time it's 4G LTE. There's not really much 4G, out there anymore. Some places there are, but most of the time it's 4G LTE, and you don't even see 3G anymore hardly. I don't know. It could be because they're working on the towers. That's what I think that it's possibly that it could be. That's about the only thing I can figure. That they're working on the towers. And it actually the blue light actually came on for 5G there a minute, and then it went off. So that's a little bit odd. It actually came on for 5G there. That was actually a good thing. It actually came on for the blue, which means you're getting an excellent signal, for the 5G and the 4G. The 4G is a very good signal. So, I don't know. Maybe they really are working on the network and stuff because that actually was a good sign because it never did that before. It's normally yellow, which means weak 5G signal. So maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're working on the 5G network. They said they are. But I mean, I can get away with using the 4G signal. We still get speeds like 100 to 200 download, which is definitely very usable. For what we do. We don't game or anything. But it is, kind of a cause for concern, though. I'm kind of wondering, what's going on, because I can't get the 5G signal, with the even with the antenna now, connected. And as you guys could see, I just unplugged it, and it's still not giving me a 5G signal. It's only giving me a 4G LTE signal, as you can see right there. The 5G signal is unlit, I mean, it's kind of a cause for concern. I'm not going to jump ship or anything from T-Mobile 5G home internet or anything, just yet. But, I really don't know why it's doing this. It's not really that windy outside. Like I showed you guys, it's a little bit windy out there, but it's bearable. It's not anything, that's really that, windy out. It's not like crazy wind, or anything, where it should actually be, messing with the 5G signal. But I'll try it later. I'll see if it goes back down. If the wind goes down a little bit. Like I said, it's not really that windy though. So I don't really think that that's the cause of it. It could be because it is it is a little bit windy out there. But normally, even a little bit of wind is not going to make a 5G signal go completely out. So, I figured that I would just get a video out and talk about this, because it is kind of concerning, but I think it's because they're doing the network maintenance, and the tower modernization. Like I said, it is April 21st, and they told me that it was going to be done, around April 27th. So, maybe they have the 5G network completely down, or something like that. So, if that's the case, and you guys saw there, when I restarted it, you guys saw that it actually had a blue light for the 5G, and then it went off, So I don't think it's anything to do with my equipment. I think it's something to do with the T-Mobile network itself. And I've actually been reading online. I actually looked online, and they actually said that Illinois actually had a really big update, for the 5G home internet, or for the 5G, network in general. And I've looked online and I've seen articles that say, that T-Mobile is actually spending a lot of money to get their 5G better. I'm really hoping, that April 27th, that I'll see a difference. I'm hoping that I can at least get a good signal, instead of a weak signal up here, or instead of a no signal that I'm actually getting right now. But I think that it could be a combination of the wind today. It's a little windy out there, but it's not that windy. And if they're working on the tower, that's right down the road from me, they're doing tower modernization on that. They might have some bands down, I can do band locking on this. So they might have some bands that are actually completely down, or something, like that, or they're upgrading, it physically, and they actually have the whole 5G network down, and they just have 4G on, right now, which is very possible. Maybe they're, basically, in the process of, getting it done, and stuff like that. They probably do have to shut some of it down, in order to upgrade it, because that's what they have to do sometimes. When you upgrade something like that, most of the time you have to shut it down, or go to another spectrum or something like that. I'm just glad that it's not 3G that they're going to. Obviously 4G or 4G LTE, is, somewhat better in some areas. You can get faster speeds with 4G LTE compared to 5G. But for us, in this area, we can actually get faster 5G, than we can with 4G LTE or 4G, whatever you want to call it. But as I showed you guys, it seems to be something with T-Mobile, because I unplugged the gateway, or the cellular modem gateway, whatever you want to call it. You guys saw me, I unplugged it, and it didn't, It gave me a blue light for the 5G, which is actually an improvement, but it's not actually staying lit. So, it's not even giving me anything right now. It's not even giving me, a weak signal right now, which I find very odd because, like I said, it's not very windy out. It's not really bad weather out there. And I have the waveform antenna, connected, facing right out toward the old truck stop down the road, where the tower is actually at. So, I actually think that it's something to do with the tower modernization. I really do, because it's actually been doing this recently, and it hasn't been doing this before. It hasn't been doing this before they told me about the tower modernization in this area. I never used to have the problem, even when I was getting weak 5G signal. I never, had a problem with it actually going out. And I would have to restart the gateway or whatever. I never, really had that problem. It would just stay on a weak signal, with this facing out there, like that, the antenna like that. I haven't moved the antenna or anything, so it's got to be, something with T-Mobile, with the network itself. So, but, all I can do is wait. Like I said, it's April 21st. It should be, getting, pretty much done, soon. Like I said, they gave me the tower ID. I talked about that in another video that I made. They actually gave me the tower ID that is actually close to me, literally right down the road from me. They gave me the tower ID for that. They told me that that's the best they could give me. And, they asked me if that's the correct tower, and I said, yeah. So they told me, she told me on the chat, she said that, yeah, she said they're doing particularly 5G maintenance, on that tower, like tower modernization, she told me. So she told me I might see, I might get 5G sometimes, and then I'll go back to 4G, or 4G LTE, and then I'll go back to 5G. She said, you can experience, bugginess, when they're working on, the towers and stuff. So, I'm just gonna have to wait it out. I'm just gonna see. But if nothing changes, after April 27th or a little bit after, I'll give it a little bit more, time after April 27th. But it's, like I said, it's only April 21st right now. But if nothing really changes, I still get a weak 5G signal. Even if I get a weak 5G signal after the upgrade is completed and stuff, I'll probably still stick with them. As long as I don't have to constantly reboot it, in order to get my 5G signal back and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm hoping. Like I've said in my other videos, I'm hoping that I'm actually going to go from a weak signal to at least a good signal, or at least a very good signal, maybe even an excellent 5G signal, and also, get better 5G, signal on my phone, more reliable, 5G on my phone. It's still a new, technology, like I've said in my other videos. It's still, evolving. It's still not as good as 4G LTE or 4G, or even 3G, if you want to, go that far back. But, it's still evolving. So, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm not going to jump ship or anything. But, it is kind of frustrating because it's 2024, and I think with the equipment that I have, with the waveform 4x4 antenna over there, I think that I should at least be getting a good signal, with 5G, for my phone and the 5G home internet, itself. I just feel like, I'm kind of being cheated around here. There's literally a tower right down the road from me. It's probably, to do with them, because they haven't upgraded it. We live in a rural area, so it's probably an older tower, and they probably haven't upgraded it in years. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna give it, some time, and see, what happens after April 27th or on April 27th, and see what happens. And I'll give it a little bit of time after April 27th, and I'm hoping, at least by tonight or something, I'm hoping that I can at least get the 5G signal back. But if I can't, it's not really that big of a deal. Like I said, I can still get reasonable speeds, with the 4G LTE signal or the 4G signal, whatever it's called on T-Mobile 5G home internet. But like I said, it's still a new technology. 5G home internet, stuff like that. Is still a new technology. 5G in general is still a new technology. Not everybody gets it on their phones. Not everybody gets it on their 5G home internet. It's just they told me actually when I bought it. They told me that I might notice spottiness. In our area. They looked it up. Before I actually got the T-Mobile 5G home internet, and they told me, until they actually do upgrades to the towers and stuff, they told me that I might not actually get the speeds, or the signal quality, that other people are actually receiving. So that's like I said, that's to do with the towers, being basically outdated. There's not really anything I can do about that. But like I said, with the waveform, 4x4 antenna and this, setup that I have, the Chester Cheetah version 2, with the band locking and the tower, stuff that you can do with it, the VPN, all that kind of stuff. I definitely should be getting, not the VPN, the network mode switching, but it does have VPN access as well, which is really nice. But for $500, I'm hoping that I can really get the best out of this, and the waveform antenna. I'm hoping that I can get the best out of these. Maybe even faster speeds. When they actually get this update completed. I don't really need faster speeds, because we already get like 500 to 600 on the download, which is really good, when it works how it should. But I want to have better reliability. I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to come up here and unplug the thing sometimes. Not that I really have to. I just did it for the sake of this video to show you guys, that it's not giving me a 5G signal today. But I have ways that I can go into the admin panel and stuff, and restart it that way. I don't have to always come up here. And I also have it plugged into a smart plug over there, back there, so I can just turn it on and off. That way, if I ever need to, if I'm not, home or something like that. But, it is kind of frustrating, but I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to jump ship or anything. I'm just going to keep it, I'm going to wait until, they do these upgrades. Like I said, I did chat with them, so I'm not, really that concerned about it. At least I know, what's going on. Like I said, they did warn me about this. They told me, ahead of time, that I'm going to, probably experience, iffy 5G, and iffy speeds and stuff like that. Why they, do work on the 5G, the tower, specifically. So, there's not really much I can do about it. Like I said, it's April 21st. So I'm hoping, that this is a good sign. I'm hoping that they have the network down, and they're actually, preparing to, get it up and running, in the coming weeks here. So we'll see. But anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, there's not really much I can do about it. Like I said, I'm not going to jump ship or anything. I'm going to stay with them. They're a lot cheaper than Comcast or Xfinity, whatever you want to call them, and they're definitely a lot better than satellite internet. And the only, other option that we would have is Verizon 4G home internet, which I know would be a lot slower than the 5G home internet from T-Mobile. So, there's not, very many options in our area. We live in a rural area. But for me, I think I have the best setup possible. I have the Chester Cheetah version 2, gateway with the band locking and stuff, available. And I also have the waveform 4x4 antenna, so I'm hoping, like I said, once they get, completed with these updates, I'm hoping that I can at least get a good signal, for the 5G, not only with the T-Mobile 5G home internet, but, for my phone itself, around here. I'm hoping that it's going to improve, the 5G, for everybody around here. So, but anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, I just wanted to get this video out there. I'll probably give an updated video on this later tonight. I'll probably try restarting it, later tonight or something, and see if it gets back to the 5G signal. Like I said, it is a little bit windy out there right now. And, that could, that could, have something to do with it. Even if it's a little bit windy out there, the gusts have been, a little bit, high in the wind. They've been a little bit high, like 30-mile, wind gusts or something like that. But they're not. It's not like steady, wind gusts or anything. So it wouldn't, it shouldn't really affect it. But the thing is, like I said, you have to keep in mind, since they're working on the network, itself, since they're working on the 5G network, that's not really a good combination. Wind, wind gusts, bad weather, stuff like that, is obviously going to affect it. And, they're, obviously working on the network, itself, and then, you have wind, you have rain, you have storms, stuff like that. Like I said, it's not really that bad out there today. But it does, seem to be picking up a little bit, actually, the wind out there. So, that very well could have, something to do with it. Plus, them, doing the tower modernization, that's not really a good combination, bad weather or wind, when, they're trying to, work on the, 5G particularly. But anyway, yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on this. Like I said, I just wanted to get this video out there. I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop and let you guys know, what was going on today. I figured I'd just, shoot a video out, and talk about this. Like I said, I'm not going to jump ship or anything, because we don't have many options in our area. So I'm going to stick by them. I'm not going to, be somebody that's going to, spend $500 on a gateway, and then spend another, like $400 or $300 on an antenna, and then, just jump ship from them, because, right now I have the best, setup that I can possibly get, most likely, compared to, some people with the stock T-Mobile 5G home internet gateway, especially living in a rural area. I definitely think that I have the best setup here, so like I said, I'm just going to wait. Like I said, they told me April 27th, and it's only April 21st. So we got like a week or so to go. So, I'm just going to wait it out, and see what we get. So hopefully, they'll turn it back on or whatever, soon. Like I said, April 27th or whatever. Or hopefully, I'll be able to get, my 5G signal, back later tonight. Maybe once the wind calms down or whatever, if they, or if they decide to turn it back on or whatever, because it definitely seems like it's like off or something, because it's not my equipment, because I unplugged it, you guys could see, when I first started this video, I unplugged it, and that's very uncommon that I don't get even a weak signal up here. So that's very uncommon. So it must, really mean that they're actually working on it, and have it shut down or something. So, I'll just deal with the 4G, right now, the 4G LTE. It's good enough for streaming. My niece wasn't having any problems or anything, streaming Pluto TV or stuff like that. I was actually watching the Phillies game earlier, and I, didn't really have any problems, using, Kodi, with the live TV add-ons or anything like that. So, but like I said, I'm going to stick by them. I'm not going to jump ship or anything, especially after spending almost $800, on this gateway, itself, and then the waveform antenna. I'm going to wait it out. Like I said, it's still a new technology, so there's not really anything we can do about it until, April 27th or a little bit after. Like I said, I'm hoping that they, really know what they're talking about, with doing the tower modernization. But, it sounds like they do, because it's been acting really weird recently. So it's never acted like this before. So, I always get a weak signal, at least up here. So I'm definitely hoping for at least a good signal, once they, get done these updates and everything. But anyway, yeah, guys, like I said, I just wanted to get this video out there. And if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, guys.